so we still have, why don't we wait to discuss the tax commitment now until it's on the, where we sign it, the number one on new business, okay?
Right.
We're gonna-
Okay.
So we need a motion to sign the warrants.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it. I'll be in favor.
all in
Good.
favor? Well, we gotta go a little slower, because, you know, Debbie's gotta catch everybody's name. She's not normally
Smack
here.
her.
We don't have to have the names, already knows who's gonna second everything. You know, we're gonna, look at this, it's coming apart. We wouldn't wanna do that, if we did that
It
too
might
hard, it
fly out
might
and
fly
hit
and hit
somebody.
somebody in the head. Thank you, Debbie.
That's all right, we could sue Carol.
Well, not me, it would be whoever gave me the thing.
You beat too many people over the head with it, that's all.
You got any owners in the truck?
Right.
There's a red sticky and
Signify.
And a green one.
I hardly believe it. There you go.
Variation.
So we need a motion to sign approve the minutes of October 2nd.
I would love to approve the minutes of October 2nd.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Standing motion.
Is that the record-breaking 17-minute meeting?
I think so.
Why, yes it was.
What, for goodness sake?
Imagine that. Congratulations. We're gonna skip old business municipal building work because that was something Renee was doing and she's not here. She has a personal issue, could not be here. First on new business, sign the 2019 tax commitment. You're on, Jim.
Okay,
Here it is in front of
you have
us.
in front of you, the Maine Revenue Services 2019 municipal tax rate calculation standard form. And I draw your attention to item 14. I'm sorry, item 15. And this is the kind of the net of the top portion here, and that is this year's net to be raised by local property tax is $2,990,273. That's the cost net for school and services for the town. Okay, that's $12,000 less than it was last year. All right. So,
But I
I
thought the
didn't
mill
hear a
rate went
woo-hoo
up.
from anywhere.
exempt properties,
Mill rate went up because of exempt properties.
pretty much.
It was Carolyn too.
Yeah.
So
So,
county taxes and all pretty much was the same.
well, county tax went up a little bit, and I think our municipal appropriation went up a little bit. It wasn't all due to exempt properties.
And the local educational appropriations,
Yeah.
this school, $1,750,000.
Yeah.
School cost.
Yep. So, all that
So,
stuff.
and the bottom line is, what is our mill rate?
Uh,
I don't see it on here anyway.
It's what it was in 2017, it's $23.10 a thousand, item 19,
Oh, here it is. Oh, there.
back to 23.10. It's what it was 2 years ago. So,
And what was it last year?
22.89, so it's 21 cents per thousand
Okay.
more. So not
That's
terribly.
it.
The residents this year will get an increase of roughly $40-some in their homestead exemptions over last year. So that will offset probably an increase that they might see because of the mill rate jump. Excuse my voice.
Do we have any questions?
That was a nice touch though at the end there. $40.
Sonia, Jason, any questions on the tax commitment? On any of the figures before we sign it?
And here's the
Now, I've got a question here for number 12, anticipated state municipal revenue sharing.
yeah.
How can you sign a tax commitment when you only have an anticipated state municipal revenue sharing
Well,
without an exact date? How does that get corrected if it's different?
the state sends the tax collector and treasurer a statement every year. And it's an estimate based upon prior years being drawn forward. And that's
Are they usually pretty much correct?
very,
They're pretty accurate?
very
Yeah.
accurate, yeah.
That was my only question.
Yeah, there's, in the 15 years I've done 3 different towns, there's rarely been any surprise in there over plus or minus $1,000. So,
Okay, so we need to sign. So we have a motion, I'll make a motion, we sign the assessor certification of assessment. Wait a minute, we got 4 things we gotta sign. The
Warrant.
municipal tax assessment warrant, and the certificate of commitment, and the certificate of assessment to be returned to municipal treasurer. There's 4 things. Looks like there's 4 things.
yep.
I move that we sign all the aforesaid.
Ooh.
Commit.
Oh,
That's
So
a nice
order
second
these
that
as a
one.
very
motion
good,
and
nice,
just-
nice touch there.
English teacher coming out.
The aforesaid,
There's 4 of them, okay. So all in favor? Did we get a second?
Yeah.
Wait, that's the second, I did that. All in favor? All right, well, thank you for your hard work, appreciate it, because, so, nobody wants to get their tax bill the week before Christmas. It's a lot better if it's sooner, right?
yes. Give them a little extra running room.
What do you think we will
I
get?
don't want
Pardon?
When do you think the bills will go out?
Start a
Um,
trust, yeah.
Like in the end of November, something
No,
like that?
oh, no, next week,
Yeah.
Next week? Well,
Yeah.
the bill, that good?
yeah.
Oh, goodness.
We sent the day off to the building service today.
Well, how can you do that before we sign it? Just curious.
Time and taxes move on.
Well, we got the,
The power of
That's right.
it's important that I try to get these done, together on the
Well,
same day.
also went to the billing place and they send it out, or they send it back to us and we mail them out. I forgot how that goes. Do they do the bills and mail them out? And do our mailing as well?
Well, we send them a file
And they generate the bills?
an action file.
Debbie, do we send the stuff to envelopes to do all that, or do they send the bills? They send the bills out themselves, right? All
Yeah.
goes straight to
I send them a
the
electronic
file, and then they generate
Oh,
paper
They
bills.
send the
Okay.
bill.
I was
They-
thinking that too, I'm like, where's the 4th
Yeah,
page?
yeah.
We,
Did you find
There's a
it?
2,
Got it.
1 page has 2.
Yes.
we preconditioned the bill with, due dates and all that kind of stuff, and interest rates, and percentages of distribution between school, county, and town. And we get that all ready to go, and then we send them the actual tax data in a file, and they electronically cut and paste that into their
Do you have a sewer commitment over there that we have to sign? Okay, that's not there yet, the sewer abatement. All right. Well, thank you for
okay.
tabling that discussion on the abatements for all of these properties until we understand it a little better.
I think that's a good idea.
Very good,
Very good.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Drive safely going home.
We need
I will.
We make copies of,
Yeah,
so that, your paper you're waiting for, oh, here, do you need this back or can I have it?
the tax information sheet you can have, but I need that
Yes, it's coming.
signed.
Okay, sign it. So we need a motion to sign a sewer abatement for sewer account 504900, billing issue for the amount of $16.42. I'll make a motion, we sign that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
There's one last sheet.
No, one has two.
One has 2 signatures.
Two signatures.
There's 3 pages.
That's all you
That's
gave
all
us?
you gave us.
Yes, that's here, okay.
Do you have another copy of this, dear?
Yes,
Can I have one, please?
I'd like one too if I
you
could.
didn't get one?
No?
I'm sorry, I got extras.
Jim, do you have one I can have?
Yes,
Thank you.
okay, I think everybody got one, right? Yes. later.
What?
Thank you.
I don't know what that is. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Renee
okay, I
knows.
was just making sure someone didn't need it.
I don't know, Renee just handed it to me. We're just using her stuff here. So, while you're signing the sewer abatement, the check availability after warrant, I was asked if we could make a vote or discussion on, the checks are always stamped and available for the Friday after the select board meeting, but that's only because the select board meeting apparently used to be on Thursday. There's literally no reason why they can't be available the day after the select board meeting. So Renee came to me and asked if I could present to the select board, the reasoning of why they could not be available the day after. So I'll give you an example of why this would work. Let's say we make a motion that the checks that we approve of, the warrants we approve of at the meeting, the checks that go with those warrants are available to cash the following day. One, on November, we are going to have a select board meeting on Tuesday because Thanksgiving is Thursday and a lot of people are off Friday. So if we were to make a motion to have the warrant checks be available the day after the select board meeting, then they'd be available that Wednesday. Now in December, Christmas is on Wednesday. Or is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday. I'm not sure if it's Wednesday or Thursday. But we are having our meeting Monday because a lot of people don't work on Christmas Eve, which is a Wednesday. That's how that works. So we're going to have a meeting Monday, and then we would like to have the checks available Tuesday. So that's how I would like to make the motion.
So is this something we're
Yes.
doing for
If we
the
make them,
end of this, for the rest
It'll
of this
always be
year?
no,
day
it'll
after.
always be the day after the warrants are signed.
Okay,
That way we don't have to change
Yeah.
the wording.
Yeah.
So I'd like to make a motion that we will allow the checks to be good, to be cashed the day after we sign the warrants.
So moved.
yes.
All in favor?
Christmas is on Wednesday this year.
Okay, so that, our select board meeting that day is Monday.
Monday.
Week's Monday. What? What?
How about a check?
Did you get the
Thursday.
email? How it was worded? Okay. Okay, the only safe harbor update I have is praying, November 12th. That's down here, that's down, that's on the committee. She added that on the other business, so I'll do it, I'll do it
Have
for you.
they updated the, I mean, is the date still the,
It should, well, it's, the
What was it?
appropriations committee said we had to know by November 12th,
12th?
so I would be saying candles and prayers would be what I'd be looking for right now.
how are we being notified?
Well,
One if
A bouquet
I-
of flowers, a
One if
I
bottle of
imagine
champagne.
it's,
What if I
I
only do
believe
it
it
by
needs to be
sea?
posted on the website that day, so I will
Ah.
be looking. I don't know if we're notified in any, and if we don't get it, I don't know if they'll tell us at all, so who knows?
This is the 12th.
I would like to
The
thank
full
Susan
moon.
Collins,
Full moon.
Senator Collins and Senator King for giving us a letter of commitment, a letter of support.
That was correct.
Yes, that was on the same letterhead, so
So that was
the nice bipartisan letter of support.
Mm-hmm.
Is this for your grant, Carol?
Yes, for the Safe Harbor grant. Okay, sidewalk project, Washington Street sidewalk project. We had a pre-bid meeting and I was lucky enough to be there, and 3 contractors are going to hopefully bid on the project. We walked the whole sidewalk project again, and it seemed a lot farther this time. It just seemed, I don't know, because we stopped
Were you
every 2
going-
feet.
Were you going
asking
uphill or
questions.
downhill?
No, we were going downhill, but there was a lot of things, just a lot of yards and a lot of curb cuts and a lot of driveways, and I'm just hoping we get a good bid. So the bids are due, November 12th. Imagine that. Bids
Oh,
are due
my
November
goodness.
12th.
It's
I
gonna be
just picked that,
an
but we don't open
auspicious
them, we don't
day.
open it till November 13th.
Oh,
There'll be tears all around, I'm sure. So, that's just updates.
mhm.
So, we have a lovely letter that was written by Rachel. She is part of this municipal budget and the conservation data group, is that true?
Correct. It's,
And it needed to be there looking for, would you like to explain
be
why you
this
were writing
well,
that?
it's a letter that is in, hopefully for support, from the Maine Community Foundation. And this little
It's
group.
in your packet.
Yeah, this little group that we are part of, that it's not so little, is a very data-driven group. It's the one that we were talking about before, and you wanted to know if it was open. And so we need to have some monies to support some of the students that are going to be helping us, that will be paid to help us. And because it's data-driven, you need to have somebody who's very research-oriented and go in there and do that. So this is just my letter. There was another one from Mildred.
And is any money coming from Washington County Council of Governments?
They
for
will
the
try their
project?
best, but we're hoping for regular grants. Judy East is
Is
really
working on it.
spearhead, yeah.
So anyway, we just need a motion to allow Rachel to submit this letter of support.
I'll make that a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, so that is a motion to approve of this support letter. Okay, and Renee will know what it is, just a support letter. Okay, so we have now, what else? Renee asked me to make an announcement that if you live out of the town of Lubec, that recycling would accept your cardboard only. Because the rest of the recycling is not making us any money. So unless you live in the town, all recycling is accepted from the residents of the town of Lubec. But if you live outside the town of Lubec, we would gladly take your boxes because we get money for that. But I guess your number 2 plastic and your mixed paper and magazines and all are not going to be accepted. We have an additional sewer commitment, and that's what we actually charge as opposed to an abatement commitment. So we have a commitment for good, that'll offset the abatement we just gave out.
Yep.
For $76.10. I need a motion to,
So
accept
moved.
this. Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
So all these boxes and things that we get, how do they get them actually into our wonderful trailer? There's
That's
such a
something you
height
have to ask
difference.
Penny or somebody on the
Press.
recycling committee.
But
Ask Renee.
is there like a ramp? Is there,
Oh, yeah.
Is there a ramp that was?
Oh,
put
that,
up for-
why don't you just make that announcement? Yes, we had a special select board meeting, County Concrete came and offered to build this ramp to get into the trailer if we paid them, like, immediately. So since we had to pay them anyway, we gathered together we got a select board meeting together and signed a warrant for that to happen all that same day, which was really great.
so
And
they
it was
were kind
valued
enough
at
to-
$1,500, so that was.
So they came in and built so they can
I haven't
forklift
actually
and
seen
get
it.
everything up into the
Did you
town.
look at it?
I did. I was there when they were doing it.
Oh,
Because
excellent.
I recycle. Because
so
cool
do
people
I.
recycle.
Everybody, who recycles on the select board, better raise your hand.
Boy, do we recycle.
No.
No.
You don't recycle?
No, not at all.
What about cardboard boxes? Okay, we'll have to take that up later. Absentee ballots are available for the November election, up to the town office. And other than public comment? Comment? No? Committee updates?
Dan,
Yeah.
you have,
Question, has anybody ever brought up the use of UTVs on public roads in Lubec?
I have no idea.
I
Yes.
know,
Yes. What is
It
it?
has
What's
been
a
brought up.
UTV?
It has been
Side
brought
by
up.
side?
And there's a
Huh?
meeting,
A what?
What is
there's a
it?
meeting I wanna say next week somewhere.
Four.
Like,
Side by
it's
side.
like a side by side, like
It's
a
a
Jeep.
side by
It's like a
side.
Jeep.
Yeah, has headlights and taillights.
So is this like, is there another committee or?
No, it was brought up by,
Clinton.
and also, Tracy.
Tracy.
So tell at the budget meeting.
Yes.
And I was informed, and I don't know if I have it on my phone, there
It's
was
like
a,
a Jeep.
Oh.
Yes.
there's a meeting,
Yeah.
if I wrote it on mine, hold on.
Wow.
Yeah,
Would it be at
Renee
the
had
budget
mentioned
committee?
this to us before, that Tracy Sawtell is very excited about this. It brings revenue into the town.
I've talked to Tracy about it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
But
is,
like, so I live out in Salt Lake, a couple months a year. And tourism's huge in Utah. I mean, you think of Arches, you think of Moab, Zion, Bryce Canyon,
And those ever popular Mormons.
that aside. There are UTV rallies, but these people are
They're
spending
like
$30,000-$40,000 on toys
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
trail systems and connecting. I mean, I know there's an ITS that goes all over Maine, but it's another source of revenue for small towns.
Yes.
And I actually just posted on one of the forums, one of the groups responded, he's in Moab, and he's like, since they legalized them in Moab, and it's town to town, he says, my Airbnb has been booked every single week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it could have a big economic impact for some of the smaller towns. I mean, you look at Machias, you look at Cutler.
Well, is it brought here on a trailer, and then then you take it off the trailer?
There's a lot of different things that you can
There's a lot
discuss.
of
I mean,
rules. It depends on town to town, but I know, and I wish I'd give it, I believe it's next week.
yeah. I mean,
I was invited to
more
a
than
meeting, I
willing to
think
do like an economic
Cutler or
impact
something.
Yes.
and
We
collect
talked
some
about
data,
this.
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
I would
asked,
love that.
I've
That
asked
couldn't
for
hurt.
it just
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
that couldn't hurt, it's, because I know with Tracy, I mean, I personally am a proponent, but there are a lot of things we need to.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some legal issues that need to be addressed.
Well,
But-
the thing that I brought up when we talked about this with Renee was that, like Rails to Trails have done
That's
this.
the thing.
No, there is.
They
Okay.
convert,
Somebody.
the non-functioning
Yes.
rail beds
And it has been a game changer.
all
in
over
towns.
New Hampshire.
Are
They
you
have
gonna
it.
go?
Exactly.
Will you follow up on
The
that?
only
You will?
problem, or
Yeah.
the thing that it's a
Five
glitch that you need to
conversations.
work out beforehand, is that if you have, let's say, snowmobiles in winter,
Mhm.
and you go to like bicycles or foot traffic in summer,
Mhm.
that they don't cross over because.
Multi-use is big across the west.
Yeah.
We're able to do it. I mean, we're talking hikers, canyoneers,
Yeah.
UTVs, dirt bikes.
Well, in
It's
Machias,
multi-use, yeah.
you know, they've done the.
Multi-use.
Both. And I hear from a lot
Very
of
noisy.
foot
No,
traffic,
Not,
a lot of foot traffic that
not the
it's,
UTV.
they get scared when
Yeah.
they hear the thing.
Yeah, and
We'd
you've
like
got
to see a picture
like
of
some
it.
of the
I have
more,
seen
some
one.
of the denser areas that go through neighborhoods,
Four-wheelers.
you definitely should be posting speed limits, but I know Fish and Game would probably be a good resource for us too.
Yes.
But for me, I'm just thinking of the economics of it,
Yeah,
and tourism
was
is
a
such
big
a vital
plus.
piece to Lubec,
yes.
that it's just another avenue.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, I look at Machias, which I think could probably be done better, and just all the people that ride all the way up to Whiting Corner and
I
then
know.
turn around.
I know, I
You
know.
know, and it's,
Yeah.
why
So
are
we
we
have to get
passing up on that
approval
revenue?
that they, well, how fast do they go fast as
They're
cars?
just like any vehicle, I mean, and honestly, I own a couple of them, so I'm a little partial,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I think of some of the vehicles that are on the roads in town,
Yes,
and these are, the UTVs are by far safer.
yeah.
Those little
Roll
teeny-
cage,
those little
yeah,
teeny cars,
but like
I know.
these side by sides have
Wow.
roll
Mine
cages,
goes
full
forward.
harnesses.
Yes.
They can do lights, they can do blinkers, they can do
Yeah.
horns, but I mean, not only that, you could probably get some registration revenue, for legal street use.
Yeah, the
Um,
economic value is indisputable.
Yeah.
I don't, the only thing was what I said, that needs to be smoothed out.
I need to do some data,
Yeah.
research and see what other towns have done, but again, literally downtown Salt Lake City, UTVs are legal. So you
Mm-hmm.
take Bangor and you double the population, double the activity, and they're legal.
Yeah.
So if they can do it
Mhm.
in inner cities,
Mhm.
I think even a small town like Lubec should be able to find a way to attract those recreational users.
Yes.
Certainly a good
And-
idea. So
Yeah.
Dan said that he was going to a meeting next week.
I just
in
can't remember,
Cutler.
but we
I'm
just.
happy to
After
go.
the B&B.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
I'll
so he
check
would
tonight.
be
and
willing
find out
to
what
go
it
as
is.
represent the select board and give us, so the next meeting or the meeting after.
Yeah, I'll
And
find out
you
when
can
it
do
is.
that.
and I can bring it back.
That
I'm
would be
here for a few
great.
more weeks, but
Yeah,
I can even send it to one of the selectmen if they want to appoint someone.
Send it to town administrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she will
Okay.
send it to all of us.
She
Yeah, I'll
was all
start
over
collecting
this
some
the other
data.
day.
And I
Yeah.
think, again, just from a legal standpoint, it is town to town.
Yeah.
It's not something that the state has taken on, at least in some of the other bigger states.
Yeah.
But again, I just think it's another avenue to attract people to the
Yeah.
town.
Okay.
Maine
Yeah.
is proud of their municipal rule, so local rule, which means that we have the authority to do that, and it'll generate economic
That's what I
development for the
thought.
town.
Yeah.
That's great, that's really innovative.
I mean, I know you're unaware of like what they are, and I can spend some time with you, but, I mean, these guys are
It's the
spending.
bigger ATV,
They're,
right?
yeah, but they're spending $30,000-$40,000 on a toy,
Yeah,
and then,
So if they're allowed to ride
it's
around
the
with
American
them,
way.
that's
it-
exactly right.
it's just, I
Well,
know
they
that
just
some
said
of
that
our
big group-
conservationists,
Well,
Matthias
and they're all like, the
Don't want any
decibel rate, the
motorized
decibel
vehicles.
ratings are comparable to cars. They're not like really loud like snowmobiles or, but again, I just thought, again, being partial, and seeing some of the vehicles that are on the roads, like, well, my side-by-side is a lot safer than some of the trucks that I'm seeing, and again, it's another way to bring tourism, further into town, versus them turning around at Whiting Corner and heading back to Machias.
And you
I
should
think it's a
stop-
good idea.
You should stop out and see Leontine at the motel.
Yeah, I heard he was interested as well.
Yeah.
4 years ago,
Yeah,
he started this.
yeah.
And he wants to bring, just like you, bring him from Whiting to
And
Lubec.
there's a lot that you can
but you need
consider.
a trail on
Well,
almost.
and that's where I was headed with
Yeah.
it. So like, if you look at like what New Hampshire did, I think someone mentioned the rail to trail, you can incentivize private landowners,
Yes,
you know, with some type of a tax break or a multi-use access through a certain piece, and then you create a club, or you get a hold of a club out of Whiting, Machias, and say, hey, we need help in maintaining or building this trail system. So there's a lot of different avenues to pursue.
you know, one of the problems in Lubec is that we don't have any rails.
No, I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water.
Thank the old Mr. Pike for that. He did
If we
We
have
have a
room,
lot of
if we have
old
room for
roads.
bicycle
Yeah.
lane, we got room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
There is a lovely
it's a
rail.
fairly straight shot.
Yeah,
You know,
there is a lovely trail, I mean, a railway,
And even
going
in
up
some
near
places-
Moosehorn. You know, if you've seen up there, if you drive 214 to get to Callis,
Oh, yeah,
there is a
I was just on that the
railroad
other
that goes right up beside it.
yeah.
And I've often thought,
Well,
God,
that's
why
a
don't
little
they
bit
do
easier,
this?
rail to trail, which has already been.
Yeah, I mean,
through
from
with
Whiting
the rights
Corner,
of
you can get
way.
all the way to Ellsworth.
I'd have to, I know
Yeah.
there's a group that has a pretty good presence in Cutler. They've been able to do it.
They have it in Matthias,
Yeah.
30 of them.
Yeah.
just
Denny's,
went for
Denny'sville,
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
fantastic.
So again,
Denny'sville, because part of it, what
They
you
can,
can do is have access to when you get property
Mhm.
that you can use. Then if you can't, you can also, through the state, you're allowed a certain amount of feet. So there might be sometimes you get up on the side of the road, like they do in
Well, that
Denny'sville,
or again,
before you go back into
it's
some
local
property that you're
rule.
able to access.
if it's local rule, you should be able to say within town limits,
Yes.
we're
Well,
okay
the
with,
problem is the access from Whiting to Lubec is 189 is a state road.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know enough about it,
So
but to
we're,
say,
we're, I believe, have the control over our local roads, but
Yeah.
yeah.
there are no local roads going from Whiting to
Well, I've
Lubec.
always
It's a
thought
state road.
the Whiting to Wilcox would be enough.
Say it
And
again?
then you wrap around Wilcox,
Oh,
there used to
right.
be an old
They can drive
trail.
on the roads in Trescott.
Yeah, it is,
Trescott will allow you to drive.
and it's a
on
township,
roads.
right?
When
It's
it's
a
hard
township.
road.
Correct.
Right.
And see,
You mean
again,
any of them?
Yeah.
Snowmobile? What
And
about
see-
snowmobiles?
Four-wheelers.
Four-wheelers?
Western
road,
Maine
like
you can
Prozac
too.
Road.
I was wondering why
It's
I was
okay.
seeing them.
Where we
Okay.
were earlier in Eustis and Rangeley,
So
same
Lubec,
thing.
yeah.
They cater
Oh.
heavily
Been that
to
way for
off-road
5
vehicle
years.
use, but saying, hey, if you need
What do
to
you mean?
use
Oh,
this
they
road to
changed
get
it?
to another trail, by all means.
Yeah.
Well, we should, so what do you, let me ask some of this, beside, I know we've heard of you, Rachel. Sonia, that was interesting what you just said.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago, they changed the ruling and you can drive an ATV on the Tide Road
Oh,
in
on-
Trescott.
Or what about all on Hill, was it just Trescott or unincorporated territories?
I think it's all.
I
Oh,
think
but
it
it's,
was all
oh,
of
but
them,
it's the yeah.
I
you
can,
know.
I thought
I'm
that
happy
one
to share a
was,
discovery.
I know they do.
I'm
I
all
know
for
people
it.
that go
Well,
climbing and use it down
unincorporated
there.
territories is run by the state.
You do it,
They
they
run
run
by
Yeah.
the
the rest.
state. They're not a
I mean,
township.
like if you,
They're not a municipality, they're run by
Yeah.
the state, I
So-
believe.
So we're gonna do a little bit of discovery and then come back to
Yes.
Renee
That's
and
a
you
really-
guys.
Yes,
That would be
that's a
wonderful.
really good idea.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that.
Good.
Okey-dokey.
Yeah.
But they
That
pay
was
a lot
today.
of money to register those
Yes,
things.
they do.
Well, and that's the other thing, like even if you have someone that can't afford a vehicle in town, but they have a side-by-side, there's another way for you to drive registration revenue. And it's just, there's a lot of different things that you could capture here, it's just,
My daughter just bought 2 or 3 weeks ago a new side-by-side. We went camping up off the Stud Mill Road for a week, last week,
yeah,
and it cost her $650 to register it.
wow.
I
yeah,
don't know how much she paid for it,
yeah.
but that's you know, quite a bit of money you're paying into.
Do it
Still,
hard.
And she stays on them
Do
trails
we
and
get all
stuff.
that money or we only get the excise?
Well, and like Dan's
Right.
saying, if they came up for a couple of
Right.
weeks, then you.
The registration money goes to the state, does it not?
And I think of just some of your bigger
I don't,
festivities.
Yeah, we don't
too.
get the registration money, we only get the agent.
no, not the registration,
We
but
get
as
the
a,
excise
but
tax.
as a town, you can
You can
charge
assign
anything
a
you want.
fee,
You
yeah,
can assign a fee.
for on-road
But I
use
think
in
the
town.
side
It's
by
gotta
side,
be
they're
used
registered
fee.
through inland fisheries and Overflow.
Oh, are they?
So
And
they
that's
get the,
not
so they get the
But,
money.
yeah, but that's not,
Right, but as a
That's
town,
all
I think you'd be
road.
able to regulate, like if you just wanted to say, okay, you wanna use your side-by-side in town, you
Yeah.
need, it's registered already, but you need to pay an additional $250.
Yeah.
to drive.
Road
I
use
know, I know in
Whatever you
5
want.
days they want, put over 500 miles on.
And the UTVs are a lot
It's gonna
different
be
than
a
quads.
different
They're
registration. It's gonna be
bumpers,
on road-
blinkers,
you're
harnesses,
saying.
roll gauges. It's not like some kid running around on a four-wheeler doing, you know, dangerous stuff.
Well,
You have to remember this town has no lights and no police. So having an okay to run these through town may be opening a,
well,
Can't
they're
do
gonna
it.
have responsible drivers at the
Yeah.
cost of them.
Well, at $30,000-$40,000 a
That's
piece
part of
too.
it.
yeah.
But
I think they'd be responsible.
there's retirees. It's really big for retirees all over the U.S.
Really?
Oh, all through Washington, Idaho, all through Arizona to Grand Canyon, and then all the national parks. It's really big business now.
And look at the impact.
Well,
on the
I think
environment.
it's something that we
Much
should
more
definitely
economic.
get some more information on, give it to
I'll start
Renee,
doing
and
some
we'll look at it
discovery. Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
thanks
you
guys.
very much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.
So I think the ski committee update, so Shellfish, first Monday in November, right, is, let me get my calendar for you. Shellfish would be the 4th at 6 o'clock unless you change it, it's first Monday, right? And Rachel,
Yes, the recycling will be Friday, the 15th. The last meeting, we shared some data on recycling, but it was some of a lackluster meeting because no one showed up.
who's the chairman?
Wow.
So you have to
That's
call
right,
everybody
I
to get
told
them
them all
to
that I
come.
was going to give them a test on what I'd given them out the next meeting.
That's probably what happened. You scared them. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, Jason, but Harbor Board is this coming Monday.
21st.
Yes, the
6 o'clock.
21st, and I've already told Sean and Derek, so mostly Ralph, of course, knows, and I just call other people. Either Debbie says you have to call committees when something is coming up each month, and it's usually falls on the chairman of the committee to get the attendance, just to let you know.
Mhm.
And so sometimes Debbie's willing to call everybody on the committee and encourage them to show up. I know she's been very helpful in the past, especially with the Harbor Board. Dan?
We are tentatively the 11th at 3 o'clock. We're on call for, as always, for anyone or anyone who has an interest. Yeah.
If there's no other public comment, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Dan, did you mention,
Close but no cigar.
you know, Matthias has a big ATV. Have you met Ken or any of those people? There's two of them, honey, I'll try to get, I have them on Facebook, but they just left last Friday, I think it was, and they went to Fort Kent,
What,
about 30 of them,
said,
had a great, yeah,
It really is.
Yeah.
For a town like this, it could have a really positive impact.
Really?
People that-
There's some need to, that need to be spelled out.